Hello, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video, and welcome back to the horror bar. So, we are going to do some videos on Art the Clown of different poses of him holding different weapons because we didn't get to do it in the review. I've got him set up at the moment. This is how I'm going to be rocking Art the Clown in my display. So I've just put the head there. I've got obviously the flamethrower in his hand, which looks really cool. I'll put the actual leg of the chair leg or table leg with the nails and everything sticking out just on the actual base itself. So I've been staring at this for now for a couple of days and I have found a fault with it. Now, I said this figure is perfect. It is perfect, but there's something I have found what's it's throwing it off a bit. I don't know if anybody else has said this in their videos because I've not watched any other reviews apart from one. They didn't mention it out, but because it's standing on the shelf now and I'm looking at it, to me the head looks a bit too small for the body. It looks too thin. That's what it looks like to me anyway. It's probably not. It's probably like an illusion with your eyes, but it just looks like that, especially from a distance. You can see that the head looks slightly too thin, and I think it's throwing it off a bit. Yeah, I didn't notice that obviously in the review. I only noticed it literally when I put it on the shelf for the rest of the Mezco figures, and you can see the head sizes. You can't compare that one, but if you look at the head sizes with the bodies, they look pretty good in the sizes, but Art looks slightly thin, and it doesn't have really a thin head because then you look at the ones it scale from Trick Trick Studios, that looks about right. So that's the only default I found with it, but still, I still stand what I say that I think it is one of the best Mezco figures that they've ever done so far, anyway. Because, like I said, there's one more to come in the collection, and I think that's going to blow it out the water. But yeah, I think the head's slightly too thin. But we're going to get him down, and we're going to put him on the bar, and we're going to do some poses and see how he looks with the weapons and stuff in his hand. So let's get into it. Right, so I've just stuck him on the rotating base with the flamethrower in his hands already, so I had to put it back in his hands basically when I'm swapping the weapons out. You can see the back of it as well. I didn't show you the back of it. The back of it is actually all stitched. It's not velcroed. So that's probably one of the reasons why they didn't give you another outfit. Because otherwise, oh god, I nearly had an heart attack then. I thought it was gonna fall. For some reason it was off balance. I don't know why. That made me jump. That's the last thing I needed to do is fall over and get damaged. Oh, it's doing it again. Why does it keep doing that? It's freaking me out. Let's see. It's not seem to be standing proper, does it? That's probably why. Stay still. Right, yeah. So as I was saying, it's stitched at the back. It's not Velcro, so that's probably why they didn't give you a swap out costume, which I really wish they would. But you can see that it looks pretty good when it's close up on the camera. You can't really see that the head looks too small, if you know what I mean. Don't look too thin. It looks accurate to the body. It's just weird. It's just, like I said, I don't know if it's like an illusion to your eyes when I'm seeing it on display and on the shelf, that it's not actually smaller than it is. But when you compare it to all the rest of them, it does look a bit off. But yeah, you can see it looks really good with the flamethrower. That's why I'm displaying it like this with the flamethrower, because that flame effect is really good. NECA did a flame effect on one of the, which figure was it? On Torch from Puppet Master, and that flame effect is really good. Same for McCready from The Fin. That flame effect is really good, but compared to this one, it's much better. Especially the fact that they've put like a metal rod in there as well to make sure that it's not going to snap on you, which is good. That's the last thing you want to say when you're doing a review of swapping out figures, and I think the batteries have just run out. It's saying the word snap. Right, so we're not doing any more rotating today because I just ran out of batteries and I ain't got any more, I don't think. So we're just going to have him standing there and doing the swap out figures with him standing still. So we're going to get some of the figures in his hands now. We'll swap some of the heads out as well. So we've got the chair leg in his hand, so you can see how that looks. Again, looks awesome, especially with this head sculpt. Looks even better as well if you just have him, so he's just like, just there, stood there like that. Look how cool that looks. Like I said, I've had it for a few days now and I'm still loving it. Still absolutely loving it. It's like some sort of white stuff on there, that bobble there. I don't want to pull on it though, because I might pull that bobble off because it's probably just glued on. That just looks awesome. Done a really good job on that chair leg. I'm going to call it a chair leg because it's just easier than saying table leg. Bring his arm down. Let's see if I can get him where he's, looks like he's sort of holding it with two hands. Not the easiest one to get him in because obviously there's no like butterfly jointer out in the actual shoulder, so it's difficult to get him in positions where it looks like he's holding the weapon, but you can get an idea. I think I did get a picture of him holding it like this. I might space some pictures in. I might probably just put the pictures in at the end because it's just easier when I'm doing the editing. So I'm not much of an editor, but you can see how he looks there. Again, looks awesome. Put little glasses on him just to make him look even cooler. I can't believe how good them glasses look. I'm very tempted just to display him with them glasses. Oh, he's sick, he is. He's sick in the head. Right, so we'll swap out another one. It's just awesome the fact that the way you can move the body about so easily without knowing that without it getting. I keep saying them words like breakage and damage. Why do I keep cursing myself? Right, we'll swap the weapon out. Right, he's got his whip now, so he's doing his Indiana Jones impression. This is probably one of my least favourite weapons that he's got. It's really cool and effective, obviously, in the movie. It looks awesome, but in figure form, it doesn't really work. It's awkward to sort of display it with. It's sort of just, yeah, it's not natural the way it, you can see it's plastic. Do you know what I mean? It should be hanging down. The only way you could have it is like that. So it's just hanging down to the side of him. But yeah, it's definitely one what I won't be displaying him with. Let's swap one of the heads out. Let's swap him out with the side-eyed look. So this is really easy to swap out as well, which they always are with Mezco figures. I found, and I said that, I feel like I'm struggling. Yeah, I'm struggling. Let me do it off camera. I'm struggling now, I said something. Here we go. Right, I think it's down. Feels like it's not all the way down for some reason. I don't know if it's catching on that collar. Again, this head sculpt's really good, but it's one of them where if you're going to display it with this head sculpt, it's going to be like that on the side. Because with him looking from the side, you can't really have him looking straight on at you. It won't work. So let's try him with this weapon. It is the saw. I'm trying not to swap the hands out as well. I'm hoping I can get all the weapons in one hand. So swapping the hands out because they're very fiddly with them being small. So you can see how that looks next to him. Just at the side. Again, looks good. Let's bring him up. I always like to bring the weapons up so like the closer to the face. It just looks more sinister. So he's not grabbing it really good, probably because I'm using the wrong hand, but you can get the idea how that looks. It's just looking from the side. Looking up like that. Very, very creepy. Yeah, so you can see if it was straight on, it don't really work, but when it's like that, it works. Let's try the hatchet. Again, with him up like that, looks good. Looks really good actually, I like that look. He's ready to do some chop chop. Bring it down to the side. Looks good. Right, we're going to swap the heads out. Let's swap him out for this one. It's one of my favourites, this one. It looks so good. It just doesn't work perfect with the body, because the body, his costume's covered in blood, and obviously his face has only got a bit of blood on it, but that head sculpt is an absolute killer. It looks absolutely awesome. Like I said, this would have been perfect if it was clean, no blood, and then a clean costume, because the head sculpt on this one is brilliant. It's probably my favourite one. Just difficult to display with the costume that he's got on. So we'll just put the knife in his hand. Again, it's not going to fit perfect, because you can see there it looks very disturbed, very evil. He wants to do some evil intentions. Looks good. What weapon we haven't tried? Let's try the hammer. Again, probably one of my least favourites. Not something I'll be displaying him with at all. Probably not once. But you can see how that looks. And he's bringing his hammer up, ready to whack somebody. Whack, whack. Really nice to sculpt and paint though, this hammer. If it picks it up. The next one is this little like axe fin. I don't know what it's called, and you'd have to tell me in the comments. I'm calling it an axe because it is like an axe, but it's like a hammer as well. But it's nicely detailed. Again, it's going to fit loose in his hand, because you need to swap the hand out really. You know, it reminds me of Michael Myers. Obviously, just the way you can have him standing there. Because Michael Myers, you can just have the figure just standing there, because that's what he looks sort of does mainly, doesn't he? You can just have him standing still, and he looks the part. It looks creepy, and that's the same for art as well. You can just have him just stood there, just staring. Definitely creepy. Right. So what we'll do, I'll pause the video and we'll swap out, and we'll put the other hand what's already got the weapons attached to. Right, so just put the hand what's already attached to the needle, or the needle already attached to the hand, whatever way you want to say it. But you can see how that looks. Again, looks really, really good. Very simple, and it looks really effective. Why are you standing now? Is it because my bar's uneven? There we go. Stay in focus, stop going out of focus. It wants to focus on everything in the background, which is good. So yeah, the needle looks really good. I think the needle bit could have been a bit more thinner, but it would have been difficult anyway for him to do something thinner. Yeah, I think it is plastic, it's not metal. Yeah, it is plastic. Yeah, it would have been difficult to make it even thinner than it needs to be. Still looks good. And this is the other one with the actual I forgot what it's called, with the other little blade. So you can imagine how that would look, pretty much the same. So I'll show you the bin bag. So what I've done with the bin bag, I've filled it with a bit of rubbish, basically just paper. I've put some bolts in as well, just to put some weight to it. I'm hoping it's not weighing too much, because I've actually put some electrical tape around the edge as well. So just to keep it sealed. So hopefully I can get that in his hand. I just don't know if the hand will be too loose, so I might have to swap the hands out. So we'll swap the hands out. Right, so we'll swap the head sculpt again. I know I keep swapping about. It's making me really nervous, but once this is all done, it's going to be very rare when I start swapping stuff out for different looks and stuff on the shelf, because I don't like to do too much messing about with them in case you damage them. Especially with these, because they're so small and fiddly, it's going to be very difficult to find replacements and stuff. So you can see how it looks with the bin bag. Like I said, it looks a lot better. I did do a video when I first got it of different poses and stuff, but I didn't like it because I didn't have the bin bag right properly. But now I've weighed it down, I've put some tape on it. It looks more natural, if you know what I mean. It's weighing down on his shoulders. Obviously, I've changed the head sculpt for the reason for him holding this bin bag, because it makes more sense to him having this look when he's just like walking about looking for his next victim. But yeah, it looks really good. Just him carrying a bin bag. And it's not too heavy, which I'm glad, because I thought it would be too heavy and it would weigh him down, but it's not. But even if I display him like this, I always use these just to keep hold of them, just in case you don't want them falling off the shelf. But I am glad that they include these with all Mezco figures. Obviously, they don't really need them when it comes to horror, because it's mainly for like flying poses for like superheroes and stuff. But I like to use them because it keeps them secure on the shelf. But you can see that looks awesome like that, with a bag over his hand, over his shoulder, I mean. And then you could just put the hatchet in his hand, so he's actually still got a weapon in his hand. You can see how that looks. Again, looks awesome. awesome. It's an awesome figure, this is. It's just, there's so many different ways you can have him displayed. Obviously, I ain't shown the horn, but there is a hand. I think it is specifically for the horn, which is this one. I found it was this one, which worked better. So if you just point his hand there, and you can see that fits in perfect. Really cool. Very tiny though, so you want to be careful you don't lose that. But yeah, this looks awesome. I think I might put him on the shelf like this for a bit now. Even though I've only had him on the shelf for the flamethrower for literally about 2-3 days, if that. But yeah, I'm going to have him on display like this for a bit, because I like this look. Just looks mean. He just looks mean, and he's ready. Yeah, so hopefully you've liked this video. As I said, I just wanted to do another video on this one because it is a really good figure. I definitely recommend it if you're an Art the Clown fan, or if you're a Mezco fan or horror fan, basically. It's pricey, it's more than your normal NECA figures, but I think it's worth it. I think it is worth it. I mean, if we go grab a NECA figure so you can get an idea on the size differences. So I have a lot of retro cloth figures. So I'll bring a plastic one in and a retro cloth figure in, and you'll be able to see the size difference. Right, so here's your standard NECA plastic one. So you can see the size isn't too bad actually. Yeah, it's not bad actually. I always thought there was a lot smaller. It just depends on which Mezco figure. I think Michael's pretty small, and so is the Leatherface. But yeah, you can see you could have them on display together, I suppose, like that. I don't like to though, but if you bring in the actual retro cloth one, you'll see a big size difference. So you can see the size difference there. If you have a retro cloth figure next to him. Come on, stand. There we go. Don't fall over. So you can see the difference there between them. So yeah, he's pretty much towering over the Mezco one, the retro cloth one from NECA, but the plastic ones actually don't wet. They're wet pretty good together actually. It's not too bad, but I always like to keep them separate still. I like to keep my Mezco and my NECA separate. I try to keep my retro cloth and my plastic ones separate as well, sort of, but they're sort of separate because they usually put them in a diorama with them. So, but yeah, them two work pretty good together. You can imagine that kind of battle, couldn't you? That'd be an interesting battle. I don't know who would win on that one, because Ash can put up a fight, so it would be interesting. So hopefully you've liked this video. Again, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hit the like as well, and we'll see you in the next one. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.